July 2025 is upon us. This is the month we've been waiting for, my fellow moviegoers. The month of Super Fantastic World. Jurassic World Rebirth. So Jurassic World Rebirth is the 7th movie overall in the Jurassic cinematic franchise. I guess you could call it the 4th Jurassic World movie. But we're no longer dealing with Star-Lord and Gwen Stacy. Instead, we got Black Widow and Fiero. And Blade, maybe one day. New cast of characters, new plot, here we go. 5 years after the events of the last movie, Jurassic World Dominion, people are no longer really fascinated by dinosaurs who are still living out there in the wild. So now dinosaurs really only naturally live around the equator. So Special Ops Agent Zora Bennett is approached with a mission to go to this island near the equator where dinosaurs still live and collect samples from 3 of the biggest dinosaurs out there: Mosasaurus, Titanosaurus, and Quetzalcoatlus. This for a pharmaceutical breakthrough. Also along for the ride is paleontologist Dr. Henry Loomis, who's always got Altoids. Hey, that's my guy. And team leader Duncan Kincaid. We got our crew, now let's go on an adventure with dinosaurs again. And also, hey, some mutant dinosaurs, cause why the fuck not? Everyone loves those. Look, at this point, at least I've never heard anyone say, oh, I love the Jurassic movies after the first one. That's my favorite franchise, bring on the next one. It's not like that with these Jurassic movies. They're popcorn fun at best. I mean, sure, I had a pretty good time with the first Jurassic World 10 years ago, and there's still some things I really enjoy about it, but let's face it, with a franchise like this, once you've seen the first one, the original, the OG, you've seen them all. I'll touch more on that point in a bit, but for now, let's get to our characters. Scarlett Johansson plays Zora Bennett, and I mean, she's never been bad in a movie. I've seen her in anyway. ScarJo always delivers some solid action. The script doesn't give her the best stuff to work with. Kinda makes sense because this movie was written by David Koepp. Huge name in screenwriting, but his scripts aren't always the best. Just saying. Point is, Miss Bennett here is not the deepest character we've ever had in the Jurassic franchise. In fact, I'd say most of the characters in this movie are just not that deep. The one with the most depth, I would say, is Duncan Kincaid, played by Mahershala Ali, because he's got kind of a tragic past, which gives him motivation for what he's doing here. He wants to do good, he wants to save people, which will become relevant later on. His character was actually pretty cool. But Jonathan Bailey as Dr. Henry Loomis, alright. Gotta touch on his American accent, because he's English in real life. Yeah, it was rough. He was really fighting for his life here.
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
His character is really charming because he's the one with the moral compass. Because this mission they're doing for the pharmaceutical company, they want this medicine to be only available to the 1% of the 1%, you know, to make them rich. Dr. Loomis is like, no, this should be for everybody. Which, yeah, of course, we should agree with. So good on that character. Probably the most likable in the movie. Now, what the trailers didn't tell you is that this movie also focuses on this random family that's out there on vacation or whatever, and they come across our crew and they also get stranded on this island. I don't know why this was excluded from the trailers, because they're a pretty damn big part of the movie. They take a lot of spotlight. Again, when it comes to them, the writing is not the best. Pretty standard family going through shit. That's a father, a young kid daughter, a teenage daughter, and her boyfriend. So there's that dynamic going on of the father, whether or not he wants to approve of the boyfriend. I'll say this family's more likable than the kids were in the first Jurassic World, who were just annoying as shit. Yeah, not as good as Maisie though from the last 2 Jurassic World movies. So there's your metric. Then of course there's the douchebag. Rupert Friend plays Martin Krebs. He's the pharmaceutical representative. He was also really good in this movie because, yeah, he's unlikable. He's the one with the business mindset. Kind of the equivalent of that lawyer from the first Jurassic Park movie. And that's the thing about Rebirth here. I mean, first of all, why is it even called Rebirth? I mean, meta-wise, I kind of understand. It is kind of a reinvigoration of this franchise after we thought it was done after Dominion. But in universe, there's no real rebirth going on here, so I don't know why it's called that. But now, coming back to the point I was touching on earlier, was anybody expecting this movie to be great? Yeah, it's big summer blockbuster. Jurassic is a big name in that aspect. Always has been, probably always will be. I imagine this movie's gonna make some cash. Don't know why, but it will. Because this movie, it's not as cheesy as you might think it might be. It's not that deep. It's fun in some ways. All in all, I would say it's mid. Because some things I thought were pretty cool, other things not so much. The script, like I said, pretty mid. Sometimes the characters made some pretty good points about science and morality, while at the same time, I was like, I don't really care about most of these characters here. I don't care whether they live or die. In fact, I'm 98% positive that they're going to live. Just because they are the character they are in the plot, it's easy to predict. Yeah, they're gonna live. They're gonna be fine. Meanwhile, that character's gonna die because the script is just that obvious. That's pretty much how all these Jurassic movies have been, even since the first Jurassic Park. Kind of depletes the tension of some of the action scenes. Like, oh, someone might die. You're like, no, they're not. They're gonna be fine. Because they wouldn't kill this character like that. They just wouldn't. With that being said, though, sometimes the action was really cool. My favorite action scene in this movie's got to be the one with the Quetzalcoatlus, because I thought the design on that thing was badass. It's all sharp-beaked and sharp-winged, sharp everything. I was like, yeah, you're a scary motherfucker. We should get out of here. I mean, mean, action set piece and choreography wise, it's nothing we haven't seen before, but what can I say? Jungle adventure action scenes are always fun to me. I like the jungle. I just do. And of course, the 3D didn't hurt. Babe and I just saw this in 3D. And the 3D was pretty good. And I mean, the CG dinosaurs, again, this being the 7th movie in the franchise, it's nothing we haven't seen before. So they're kind of played out by now. We've seen CG dinosaurs, we've seen CG dinosaur mutant monster things, we've seen CG mutant locusts. So like, what more could this franchise throw at us? The T-Rex, because every one of these movies has to have the T-Rex. One without the T-Rex would be a huge shock. By the way, have I mentioned that velociraptors really only show up in this movie for about 30 seconds? Moving on. The T-Rex is only in one scene in this movie, which is actually a pretty good scene, because it's the raft scene, which I've heard is a scene from the original Michael Crichton Jurassic Park book. That scene was pretty cool. The T-Rex itself was smaller than I think some other T-Rexes have been in these movies. It is obviously a different T-Rex from the others we've seen, you know, because it's differently colored. And it's fine in this movie, but I feel like it could have been more tension-filled and scary by it being bigger, which actually that's another thing about this movie. I mentioned that there's no tension, there's no real suspense either. There's nothing really scary about this one. It never really plays up the horror-ish aspects that some of the other movies have, like the original Jurassic Park and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, because it can still feel like a fun summer blockbuster action movie. I'm just letting you know. No scares here. And then of course you have these weird mutant hybrid dinosaurs, which, oh my god. The Indominus Rex from the first Jurassic World was a cool concept. I'll admit I liked it. Really cool to see in animatronic form on the Jurassic World ride, when it works, which is about half the time. But by this point, we have this thing called the Distortus Rex, the D-Rex. I hate this thing. I always hated how it looked in the trailers. I was like, what? It's like the Xenomorphous Rex. That's what I'm gonna call it, because it looks kind of like a xenomorph had a baby with a T-Rex. Because it's got that dome head, and it looks dumb. It just looks dumb. It has like, you know, these tiny arms, and then it has big, like, gorilla arms or something. I don't know. I just don't like the design. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. The music in this movie, though, was honestly amazing. Alexandre Desplat did the score this time around. He never lets me down. His arrangements of the original John Williams Jurassic Park theme are honestly among the best I've heard in this entire franchise since the first movie. Because they're different. He does different things with them, but he doesn't go off the rails. He still pays homage and respect to the original. It's just more along the lines of, what if I went this way with the melody instead? And the chords behind it. I thought it was really cool. Big props to the score in this one, because it's pretty awesome. But in the end, Jurassic World Rebirth was a mixed bag. Again, is anyone really surprised? The characters were shallow, not too deep, except for Duncan Kincaid, Mahershala Ali. The script, the plot is pretty formulaic. You know who's gonna live and who's gonna die. Although sometimes it does bring up some pretty solid points about science and morality. The action is fun. Just because it's nothing we haven't seen before doesn't make it bad. It's still enjoyable to watch because it's fun summer blockbuster moviness. Popcorn fun. And the CG dinosaurs are CG dinosaurs. Sometimes they look cool, sometimes they look dumb. And the musical score is great. Is it still worth seeing on a big screen? I would say sure if you can just turn off your brain and kick up your feet. In other words, for Jurassic World Rebirth, I will say, wait until this movie's at a matinee price, then go see it. Which, I'll be honest, that is a higher rating than I thought I was gonna give it, so there is that. And there's nothing after the credits, in case you're curious. So, Jurassic World Rebirth. Have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And do you think there's gonna be another one? If so, when do you think it's gonna come out? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!